State and local health officials are trying to get the word out about a possible measles exposure in St. Louis County. Someone believed to have measles may have been contagious when they visited several places in St. Louis County, including the Magic House, Racanelli's in Kirkwood, and Homewood Suites in Chesterfield, all on March 13th and March 14th. Measles can make you very uncomfortable, seriously ill. It is extremely contagious, and that's why we invited Dr. Ken Haller, a SLU Care pediatrician at SSM Cardinal Glennon, to talk with us about what we should watch out for. So let's start out with how really contagious is this? Is it so easily spread?
Measles is probably the most contagious viral illness that we know of.
Wow.
If you were a susceptible person and you were in the vicinity of someone who has measles, if they sneeze, you have a 9 out of 10 chance of developing measles.
Wow.
And what's worse is once that gets into the air, it will stick around for as much as 2 hours afterwards. So even if you come into a room where someone happened to be there breathing and sneezing, 2 hours later you could still get the measles if you're susceptible, if you've not been vaccinated.
And can you spread measles even before the symptoms show up in you?
Well, yes. What happens is there's a prodromal period of on average, about 10 to 14 days. And for a couple of days before you actually start showing symptoms, so we're getting to about days 6 or 7 or 8, that's when you can start shedding the virus and giving it to other people, and you wouldn't even know it.
So you don't know you're sick, but you're still spreading it to other people. So
right.
If you were one of the people, like one of our viewers, maybe sitting at home saying, I was at the Magic House that day,
right.
What are your chances, and should you be worried?
Well, if you have been vaccinated, if your kids have been vaccinated, your chances are very low. One vaccination will reduce your susceptibility by 95%, and if your child has been vaccinated twice, as recommended by the CDC, that drops to by 98%. Wow. So your chances are very low. If you've not been vaccinated and if you're susceptible, you might be in trouble.
Okay, so should you get vaccinated now? Does that help?
Well, the vaccination post-exposure helps for up to 72 hours, and up to 6 days you can do what's called immune globulin. Now we're about 8 or 9 days out, so people who are exposed and haven't had measles vaccination might have a problem with this. However, I hope this is a wake-up call to people who have not gotten vaccinated, not gotten their kids vaccinated. This is the time to call your doctor and set up that appointment to get your measles vaccine.
These vaccines work.
They do work. They are very effective. I am old enough to remember having measles myself, and I was miserable. No kid should go through that.
And you can die from it.
And you can die from it. 1 out of 1,000 people who get measles die of either encephalitis, infection of the brain, or pneumonia. Back in the 60s, 1 million kids a year got it, and 1,000 kids died every year. We cannot let that happen in our country again. Kids do not deserve to die of something that we can prevent. So get your kids vaccinated.
All right, Dr. Ken Haller with SLU Care and SSM Cardinal Glennon, thanks so much for being here. Such an important story.
It was a pleasure.